What is up, guys, and welcome back. I'm going to do a quick little update video today of what we have going on. We have a few things going on. Finally, we're making some progress on the LS3. We're going to get the long block buttoned up here in the next couple days, have that thing ready to go, just start working on the heads. And also, I did score a pretty sweet deal on some 18-inch IROCs today for 500 bucks. I got all of them with the tires, mounted balance, and everything. Tread's decent. I'm sure the tires are a little bit old, but they'll be just good for some smoke show and some autocross to tear them up. It is going to be quite the difference. I think it's going to give it a way better look, a more aggressive stance. And then also, the reason I need the 18 inch is because when I get the LS3 in this car, I got to do the big brake conversion with some Brembos up front so I can handle the stopping power, because the stock brake systems are not going to be up for the task of stopping in an orderly fashion. And also, these things are pretty dull too. A lot of oxidization, some minor pitting compared to the 16 inches I have on there. So there's going to be a video about some polishing and how to restore these to mirror finish when you got oxidization and stuff like that. So also, we have a little bit of stuff going on the inside today. I did start to install the new heater core because I need some heat up here in the Midwest. And then also, I did find a little broken flap right here. So I think someone attempted it one time, might have broke it, or it just broke from old age because this thing is about 35 years old. So I also need to mount my ECU for the Hvac Ultimate LS. So we have that going on. Yeah, we're pretty deep in the winter projects. And then today on the videos, we're going to be popping in the last 4 cylinders on this side. We did get all these complete. Everything went together nice. It looks good. And we're going to get those bad boys put in the LS3 so we can get busy on that. So that's just kind of where we're at. We got a little update too. And also, if you're wondering what this big piece of plastic is, we just bought this house about 5 months ago. This was actually a woodworking shop. The guy that owned it before us was a woodworker. There was no way to get a car in here. And I was like, you know what? I knocked that whole wall down, framed it out, poured new concrete, everything. Eventually, I am going to finish all this and put a garage door right here so I can have the 4 cars deep. So if anybody's ever wondering about what my ghetto garage door I have right here going on, that's the story behind it. So let's get busy on the LS3 today, and we'll go from there. Also, guys, real quick, if you haven't done so already, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell for notifications to stay up to date on the latest 3rd gen content. All right, let's go over some of the basic prep work that I do, as well as piston ring orientation before we move further and actually installing the pistons into the block. So first up is going to be the piston and ring orientation, and the way I'm running it is, let's say this is our wrist pin going across right here. I put the top compression ring right at the top. The second ring is going to be orientated 180 degrees away. And basically, it doesn't really matter as long as they're 180 degrees away from each other. And if you read right here, position the oil control ring end gaps a minimum of 25 millimeters or 1 inch from each other. So what I'm doing with the 3 oil ring gaps is spacing them out 1 inch in between and running them over here on the side. Now, I already pre-clocked all these pistons, so when I go to assemble them, it'll be a lot easier. I also cleaned the pistons really good too. And then before I'm putting them in, lots of clean motor oil to lube everything up. And then also on the block, I like to take the brake clean each cylinder bore before, and then lube it with some clean oil, get each one ready, as well as laying the bearing on the actual rod before you put it in. So that's just some of the stuff I do to keep it clean, and make sure to pay attention to the detail, because the devil is in the detail when you're this far into the engine. You just want to go slow, be cautious, make sure you don't miss something stupid. So with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to installing the last 4 and getting this thing buttoned up. Alright, we've already got the bore cleaned. We're going to lube it up really good with some oil, as well as the piston rings and the skirts. Skirt. Make sure everything's nice and lubed up. Alright, we've already got the rings kind of pre-clocked like we talked about earlier. There's that. Double check everything, make sure it doesn't spin. And then also, we've already got the bearing in with lots of assembly lube. And we're going to be mindful of the dot. It's always facing forward in the block. Let's go ahead and get this one sent home. I always like to pull it out so the skirt's just barely sticking out on the bottom. And it also gives the piston something to center in the hole. Make sure this is compressed nice and tight. That's good. Double check the die, make sure it's forward. And be careful when sliding the rod down there. And give it a few love taps. There you go. And that one's in. Now I won't bore you with all of them, but we are finally making progress on the LS3. Super stoked, cannot wait. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up, and follow along for more 3rd gen content.